Hi guys, so this is an example about profit. So a company sells widgets. The amount of profit, which is Y. So Y is the profit, which is how much money they make, is related to the selling price of each widget X. So the selling price is X. Use the equation to answer the questions. So I am going to clear my calculator. Second plus 7, 1, 2. I'm going to push Y equals. And remember from the last video, if you read it out loud and you say the word negative, you push this button. If you read it out loud and say minus, you push this one. So I'm going to be typing in negative x squared plus 51x minus 201. And remember that there's the button for x. And I'm going to hit the button that says x squared to make it say x squared. So negative x squared plus 51x minus 201. I'm going to hit mode and go down to graph table mode. And then I'm going to hit graph. All right, this doesn't look like a parabola. Remember that because it's negative, I'm supposed to be seeing this type of a shape. And I'm definitely not. I'm only seeing like a straight line. So I'm going to use the table to try to figure out where does it turn around. So I'm going to hit second graph. See how it says table above there and table is in blue? So I'm going to have to hit the blue button to get there. So second graph. And now I can adjust the table. And so right now, it looks like they start off in the negative. And then their money is going up, going up. I'm looking for a turning point. I'm looking for when does the money start to go back down. Right about here. See how it went from 407 or 419? Yeah, it actually started going down a bit up here. About 25, in between 25 and 26. See how 25 and 26 are the same? And then it starts going down from there. So because the graph is symmetric, remember if it's 25 on one side, it'll be 25 on the other side. So I can probably guess that about 50 is when it's going to be back at the bottom. So I want to adjust my window, and I can tell that my x's, like I said, I'm probably going to want to go up to 50, and that's just an educated guess based on 25, between 25 and 26 is the turning point, and that's my halfway mark, and so 25 times 2 is 50. And then my y max, 450 is the highest number I see on my table, so I'm going to want to pick something a little bit bigger than that. So I'm going to write this down just so I don't have to keep going back and forth, but I'm going to put 24, 25, and 26. I'm going to copy those three down. So 24 is 447. 25 is 449, 26 is 449, and I'm going to do 27 also, just so I can see is 447. So there's my symmetry. See how it's repeating itself? All right, so I'm going to hit mode. Sorry, I'm going to hit window. And I can leave my X minimum alone. But my X max, I'm going to try 50. I'm going to see if 50 is far enough so that I can see the other side of it. I'm going to leave the minimum alone. And my maximum, I know from my table, the highest number on my table is 449. So round that up to 450, maybe to be safe. I'm going to go with 475. Like I said, it's kind of a little bit of a guess and check game. I just know what I need to see at least as high as 449, and I'm just going to pick something bigger and hope that that's enough. All right, so let's hit graph. Perfect. That was good guessing. So I knew that 25 was my halfway mark. So that's why I made my X max 50. And then because of my table going up to 449, I went ahead and made my maximum 475. I knew that that would hopefully be high enough. All right, so now I can kind of, doesn't have to be beautiful. I can kind of sketch what that's supposed to look like. And now I can answer the questions. All right, what does the X stand for? We said that the X was the selling price. And the Y is the profit, which is also money. All right, what is the initial profit? So the initial profit, there actually wasn't any initial profit because they started off in the negative. So if you remember from the last couple of videos, the number at the end, the constant, it has no variable attached to it. This is your y-intercept, which is your starting amount. So the initial profit was negative $201. Not off to a good start. But that happens with companies because a lot of times they have expenses. They don't start making money until they actually sell things. So what selling price will maximize the profit and what is the maximum profit? So I'm going to hit mode now that I have my graph good, and I'm going to go back and hit full. So mode full, go back to the graph. And the maximum can be found when we do second trace. Second trace maximum. Oh, second trace maximum. Sorry, I picked the wrong one. So left bound, I just have to be anywhere to the left of the turning point. So that is, so I'm just going to hit enter. Right bound, I have to be on the right side, anywhere to the right, and hit enter. And so remember, now my calculator is going to look in between those two for the highest point. So your vertex has to be in between those two lines in order for this to work. All right, so my maximum X is 25.5. My maximum Y is 449.25. So X is the selling price. Y is the profit. So I'm going to use those two answers. So the maximum, 25.5 and 449.25. So the selling price was the X, which is 25.5, and that would be $25.50. The maximum profit will be $449.25. Now this comes up in situations where you have a profit or like a company and you could lose money, but you could also make money. When does the company break even? Break even means zero profit. It means they didn't lose any money, they didn't make any money. And the break even points are the x-intercepts. So it looks like there are two places where this is going to break even because it started off in the negative. Remember, they started off with negative $201. So there's a break even point here where they're going to reach zero. and then their maximum, and then they're gonna come back and they're gonna break even again over here. And that should make sense with supply and demand. You know, when things are too expensive, people stop buying them. So if the selling price is too high, eventually they're gonna lose money because no one's gonna be buying it. So in order to get those 2 points, when I hit y equals, I need to have a 0 in y2. And now that red line comes up. So now I can hit second trace, option 5. I want to find where it intersects. And since there's 2 of them this time, I kind of need to tell my calculator I want to find this one first. So I'm just going to move my blanky thing. And then we just keep hitting enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. 1, 2, 3. And see where it says intersection? So 4.30. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing, but move the blankie closer to this side. So second trace, option 5. And I'm going to move my blankie thing over to the other break-even point. And then I'm going to hit enter, enter, enter. Second trace 5, enter, enter, enter. So this intersection, that break-even point is 46.69, but after the 9 is a 5, so that's going to round the 0.69 up to 70 cents. So 46.70. So those are my 2 break-even amounts. $4.30 and $46.70. All right, so again, the Delta math that you have is not going to ask you all of these questions at once, but now you know how to do it no matter what the question says. All right, and these are the same instructions, and you can use the screenshots from the first example to kind of help you figure out if you push the right buttons on the calculator.